Hello, welcome to my channel, the Jimmy Jam Oracle. Today we're doing another Foodie Beauty reading. We're going to go a little bit different today. We're going to do a 7-card spread, or it's called a horseshoe spread. It's just, I guess it's a little bit faster than the Celtic Cross. It also can be a little bit more specific than the Celtic Cross. But remember, we welcome the spirits just like I welcome you here today. And right now I'm shuffling the deck. We focus our energy on Foodie, on Chantal. And, again, just shuffling. What has she been up to? Not much. Although I suspect there might be some disputes going on in the household. But why speculate when we can ask the spirits? All right, let's get started. So with the horseshoe spread, again, we get 7 cards. I'll start with the first one in the past position. Oh, we have Judgment. In its reverse, it says self-doubt, lack of self-awareness, inner critic, self-loathing, punishment, destruction, ignoring the call. Okay, so again, this is in the past position. Could this be Chantal's, when it's talking about destruction, when it's talking about lack of self-awareness, I guess the Cokie era, as everyone likes to call it, or it can even be further than that. I think Chantal has had kind of a rough like growing up and stuff. And not like physically, but like emotionally. Again, like the lack of self-awareness, and even like the self-loathing. I think so too. Like I really do think she, in a way, she does, or at least in the past, I think she's had that. I think it's a good card to represent her past. Let's move on to the second card. It's the present. So what's going on right now? Ooh, we have the Tower, but the Tower is reversed, so that might be a good sign. Let's see. It says personal transformation, fear of change, averting or delayed disaster, suffering, collapse, stormy time, and restlessness. Turns out not good. Okay, it does say fear of change, and fear of change is, again, wordage that we usually get with Chantal, or like lack of change. I believe that's pretty consistent with Girl World. That's one of the reasons why people are like, oh, well, same stuff, different day. And it's because I think they're afraid to change or to, bring about change in their life. Also talks about suffering and collapse as well. Stormy time, which I just clocked before I even laid out the deck. I said, it just seems like there's tension in the home. And I think maybe this is a precursor that it's talking about collapse. And in my last read, it talked about heartbreak. So I'm just wondering if, like, again, like this stormy time that the card is presenting right now is the relationship between her and Salah. Like, just does not seem like things are going good right now. Move on to the third card. So what's helping the situation, or what's led up to this point? We have the King of Wands. He is reversed, and it says impulsiveness, ruthless, high expectations, haste, unachievable expectations. I believe I got this for Chantal last time as well. Definitely she has that impulsive behavior, and that absolutely could have led to what's going on with her right now. It also is talking about like high expectations, like having air conditioning in Syria, like that's already high up there right now. And like Chantal is very, she looks for comfort in like a physical sense. So like, she eats for comfort. She went to the hotel Qatar for the air conditioning and just to be alone, and have all that fast food around her. She, the unachievable expectations, I think it is implying to her like physically, but also think like that applies to her emotionally as well. So like with Salah, I do think like emotionally there's a high expectation. Like, she expects him to love her unconditionally and with that give her whatever she wants. All right, sorry, I'm just shuffling those around a little bit. We have the fourth card. It's obstacles. Where are her obstacles right now? We have the Nine of Swords. It's reversed. It says inner turmoil, deep-seated fears, secrets, releasing worry, hope, and reaching out. All right, so again, inner turmoil. And then like in the present time, we have that oh, maybe it's the past card that had that. Oh, with suffering. Here we go. Suffering. I do think emotionally she is, and maybe even physically, I don't know. She's suffering. And again, we're talking about deep-seated fears and secrets, and that's something that she does constantly. She sits in that, because she doesn't want people to know that things are going kind of awry with her life. She wants to come on YouTube and pretend everything's fine. It's creating, like, again, that inner turmoil, the secrets. And even like the reaching out part still applies to her, because I do believe like her coming on live and like talking to people, I think that's her looking for, that emotional support, but being unable to fully attain it because she can't really be honest. All right, so we move on to the fifth card. It's the attitudes of others, but also could be like an outside influence card. Let's go ahead. Who do we have? We have the Nine of Wands. It is also reversed. It says inner resources, struggle, overwhelmed, on edge, defensive, paranoia, exhaustion, fatigue, and lack of motivation. This is definitely, I think, how people see her right now. She definitely seems on edge, especially in the last live. Was it the last live or the one before that where her and Salah were openly pretty much arguing on camera about him? No, he was tired and she was throwing shade. And people see it, they read it, and like, again, I think it's just one of the ways like Chantal is trying to reach out. Like, she can't openly be honest about what's going on, so then what happens? She's throwing out hints, she's throwing out shade. We also talk about fatigue, exhaustion, being defensive. She's been very defensive here lately. So yeah, I think that's a pretty accurate description of how people are seeing her right now. We move on to the sixth card. So the sixth card is interesting. It's what the questioner should do. And just to remind you, this is the advice of the spirits, so that we can find out what the spirits are like. So this could be good advice or bad advice. We have the Eight of Wands. It says speed, rapid action, movement, swift change, manifesting quickly, quick decisions, and air travel. Yeah, the spirits are saying get the hell out of there. Which, that's fair. Definitely, and they're saying like do it right now. You gotta be quick. She's gotta get out of there. And it's funny because like especially this read and the last read, I got movement cards. Movement cards are very common for Chantal, and usually whenever I start getting the movement cards, it's not too long after that she actually like she is moving somewhere. Not like moving, but like she goes somewhere, she travels. She's out and about. And this one's talking about quick decisions and air travel. Again, this is the advice of the spirits. They're saying, hey, go home or go somewhere else. Just get out of there. So we move on to the seventh card, which is everyone's favorite card. My favorite card. It's the outcome card. Who do we have? Oh, we have the Two of Cups. It says unified love, partnership, mutual attraction, proposal, marriage, and connection. Huh, strange. All of this strife, and somehow we end up with marriage, proposal, connection. But whose marriage? Whose proposal? Whose connection? Let's ask. Because if for some reason I'm not feeling Chantal in that. All right, spirits. Ooh. Can you tell us more about this Two of Cups and Chantal's read? This outcome card. Oh, I dropped some cards. Oh, this one fell out. Let's go ahead and read it real quick and I'll draw 3. It's the 7 of Wands. It says challenge, competition, protection, perseverance, defense, maintaining control. Control pops up a lot with Girl World. Maintaining control, getting control, losing control. It's all about control. But what's interesting is the competition part of the card. And then we're talking about unified love, which you would think like these would be the opposite of each other. Because, you know, when you talk about competition, talk about challenge, you're talking about one against another. And then meanwhile, the other card is saying, hey, partnership, you know, marriage, the connection pretty much. So it's strange that these two, this one just jumped out. That's why I paused for a second because I was trying to find out where I dropped that card. All right. I'm going to do some little bit more shuffling. Let's see if the spirits have any more to say. All right. Spirit says the Fool. Spirits say the Ace of Cups. And the 6 of Cups. All right, so the Fool reverse is holding back, indecision, hesitation, recklessness, fearlessness, bad choices, and risk-taking. I think that's pretty Chantal coded, especially like when it's talking about fearlessness and recklessness. You know, we've gotten, where is it? Impulsiveness in the King of Wands. So I think that's what that's referring to. I think it's letting us know this is about Chantal. Then we have the Ace of Cups, and it's talking about love, compassion, creativity, new feelings, spirituality, intuition, new baby, proposal. So again, spirits are talking about proposal. They're talking about marriage. They're talking about a new baby, which we know that can't be Chantal. It does talk about new feelings. So it's like, this is different. This is, you know, something brand new, something we don't know about. Then we have, again, the 6 of Cups. It's upright, says familiarity, happy memories, reminiscing, childhood memories, innocence, joy, and nostalgia. So we're talking about the past. Huh. Reminiscing childhood memories. For some reason, I'm getting Salah. Innocence, joy, nostalgia. Huh. Hang on. I have a funny feeling the spirits are trying to say something they can't quite say with this deck. So I'm going to pull out my other deck. Of course, I dropped half of it on the floor. All right, here we go. All right. I do some shuffling. Sorry if I get quiet. I'm just really focused, and for some reason this read is being a little weird. We have unfazed, fake flexing. We have hooked. Okay, unfazed. So who's unfazed? Is it Chantal? And then we have fake flexing, acts rich, flosses money, acts fancy, shows off. And then we have hooked. Almost it seems like, almost feels like catfishing. Well, you know, again, like the fake flexing to pull in a partner, and then, you know, once they're hooked, and then you have them. That's what this feels like. Unfazed kind of implies that they've done this before. Huh. All right, spirits, do you have anything else to say about marriage, about proposals, new baby? Anything else to say? We have talking shit. That's pretty usual for Girl World. We have clout hungry. Again, usual for Girl World. Bad reputation. Huh. I don't know, because Foodie and Salah both have a bad reputation. This is very interesting. So I'm not sure what's going on. It didn't seem like in my last read that somebody else is coming into the picture. Maybe that's the competition. They even could be the new feelings, the proposal. Let me get these guys out of the way. I'm going to draw one more card because I got a feeling the spirits have something juicy. They just gotta tell me. I just gotta pull the right card. Spirits, who is the competition? Who do we look for? The world? Completion, accomplishment, wholeness, attainment, fulfillment, travel. Again, we're talking about travel and arriving, movement. Something becoming complete. Have the Hermit, he's reversed. Isolation, loneliness, withdrawal, distance, and lost your way. So again, we talk about withdrawal. We're talking about distance. Usually the Hermit is about emotional withdrawal, isolation, distance. But for some reason, like with all these travel cards, I'm getting like physical distance. But it could be emotional distance as well. Maybe emotional distance of a relationship, which makes the marriage proposal thing kind of weird. Anything else, spirits? Seven of Cups reversed. Personal values overwhelmed by choices, lack of purpose, fantasy, illusion, diversion, confusion. Okay, illusion, definitely secrets, fantasy. So something is not as it appears to be. Okay, thank you, spirits, for that today. Appreciate it. Just gotta keep an eye out for Chantal, find out what all that means. But meanwhile, I thank you for being here today. Make sure you thank the spirits for helping us out. And I hope you have a great day.